Yeah, man, we back in the building. Quick topic, because I seen something with Jim Jones that y'all seen the thumbnail. Speaking on Jim Jones, the guy that been trending and going viral and been in the algorithm for about, what, 6 months, I want to say? The guy that they got a nickname from, they call him the OYN, you know what I mean? An old young guy, whatever, OYN, y'all know what the N stand for. You carry yourself, young and all that. Nothing wrong with that. But he actually did I don't want to say an interview because he got his own little podcast going on with him and Mano. Shout out to Dave V. Shout out to Fabulous. All four of them. They got a podcast right now, I think, called Let's Wrap It Up. Check that out, or Wrap It Up, one of the two. Now, I mean, go subscribe to the channel. The interview was kind of interesting because Mano actually asked him a question. If anybody been knowing what's going on in hip hop, they know about the Atlanta thing that's going on with YFN Lucci and Young Thug. They know the history. A lot of shootouts and dumbouts and spinning around the block. A lot of that was occurring during that beef, actually, and a few people got unalive also. Let's not forget about that. So they beef between them two, meaning YFN Lucci and Young Thug was very, very serious, because once you start doing a little spin around the blocks and your life is in danger, bullets are flying and all that, and some people didn't make it, yeah, that's a whole nother level. But see, Max B and Jim Jones situation was nowhere near like that. Max B might have seen them, chased them around New York, or Jim might have seen them, chased them around New York, whatever. Everybody remember that era between the Max B and the Jim Jones beef. It was very popular in New York around that time. A lot of beef was going on in New York. A lot of upcoming rappers beef on Jim Jones, had a lot of beef with upcoming rappers in the game. I mean, Jim had a lot of beef with a lot of dudes back then in the early 2000s. And Max B was one of them, actually, an ex-member that used to actually do good music with him, and was down with the label Bird Gang that Jim Jones had running back in the days, and had a couple artists over there. Rest in peace to Stack Bundles, one of his best artists he had over there. Basically, a lot of people say that Stack Bundles and Max B was the best two that he had under that roster. So rest in peace to Stack Bundles, and Max B on his way, actually, like in a 2.5 weeks. If I am mistaken, November 5th or 9th, Max B will be on his way home. Now, I know a lot of people saying, yo, Max a little too old and this and that, but you got to look at the guys like Jim Jones and everybody else, Fabulous, all them dudes in their 40s, all them around that age. See, the difference is now in rap, you can stream and do independent. You can do numbers on your own. You don't need that big label. Plus, he's coming home to a red carpet, meaning he coming home to French Montana, who just married a goddamn the prince daughter out there in Dubai or something. I think she's like one of the wealthiest family out there. Go look it up, French Montana and the lady that he just married. And Max B is actually his good friend. He did good music. Max B helped him get his career going before he went in. So he's coming home to a good welcome home red carpet, to be honest. But Jimmy said something in the interview that he's not going to let this beef go. And everybody wondering in the East Coast and anywhere else that know this beef between them two, especially in Harlem, is this going to escalate to now it's 20 years later, and you still can't let that go, meaning Jim Jones, but Max B actually let the beef go. We're going to get to all these clips. Let's get this show started, because sometimes you got to let things go, Jim. If it ain't nobody life get attempted, nobody got unalive, let that go. Get back to the music. But I think I know the reason why he don't want to let it go. And it got a lot to do with his fiance, his girlfriend that he's with now, and that's Chrissy. Max B said a lot of harsh things back in that beef era between them. Let's get this show started. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Smash that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Make sure you keep that notification bell on so you know when these videos are actually dropping. And yeah, shout out to everybody that got their membership, Team Smoke, Smoke Gang. Shout out to y'all. Y'all want to donate to the channel, you can also donate by the Cash App or donate by the thank button on the video. Let's get this copyright out the way. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and the videos that I play are also owned by the original creators. Pardon me. I want to show y'all a picture right quick before we start. This how deep and foul and grimy and slime, whatever you want to call them. When people like played you close, try to do a little good thing here and there. And I know some people say, nah, Smoke, kids ain't got nothing to do with it. But the way these people play nowadays, you got to be careful sometimes who you end up trying to squash beef, because they still try to be two steps ahead of you a little bit. If y'all don't understand what I'm saying, basically what I'm trying to say is Jim Jones took a picture with Max B's son. I think it was last summer. Last summer. It had to have been last summer or beginning of this year or this summer. Peep this out. Now, this is Max B's son right here, if nobody don't know what's going on here. He looked just like Max B. You see Jim Jones took a picture. Max B, I guess it was at like a little get-together or something going on at the park, whatever, in Harlem. Max B, you know, his baby mom, the son mom was there, because Max B's son he's actually a little DJ. Shout out to him, man. I forgot his DJ name, but shout out to him. And Jim Jones actually took this picture with him. And I know, and I understand a lot of people gonna feel like, oh, nah, those Smoke kids ain't really got nothing to do with it. But I'm gonna ask y'all a question, because we know how Jim Jones could be. He could be biased and a hypocrite on a lot of things. Now, if his son would have took a picture with Max B when he come home, well, y'all think Jim Jones feels some type of way by telling his son Pootie? I think his son is Pootie. Pootie old now. I think Pootie about 9, ain't old, but he about 19 years old, about 20, right? About 20, 19, 20 around there. You would think he'd be mad if he take a picture with Max B if he came home? That's my question to y'all. Would Jim Jones get upset? Would Jim Jones pull Pootie in the house like, man, listen, man, I don't want you taking no picture with that nigga. And man, listen, I don't like him. Would Jim Jones flip out on his son if he did that? Now, see, little man is young. Little man's a young kid. He's trying to come up in the game. You know, he do his little DJ. So a lot of people actually booked him because he's nice behind the DJ. He's an upcoming little DJ out there in Harlem. Shout out to him. But what I'm trying to say is, what Jim Jones actually would have took a picture with, Max B would have took a picture with Pootie, Jim Jones' son? I don't think so, to be honest. I think Pootie wouldn't even took the goddamn picture with him. But let's get to the interview with Max B and his Jim Jones beef, which is like 20 plus years, if I ain't mistaken. I want to say 20 plus years probably. Jim Jones ain't letting it go. And he said he could be petty, and he's going to continue to be petty at the age he at, which nobody got unalive. Remind y'all, because beef could get real serious when shootouts and people get unalive. That's a whole nother level now. But between these two ninjas, that ain't never happened between them. A little bit of fists and hands and feet on each other, cruising, stuff like that. But ain't nobody get hit. Nobody got unalive. And at damn near 50 years old, Jim Jones said he could be petty, and he's going to continue to be petty. Peep this out. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video, man.
No better feeling ever in the world. So what I'm saying is that at some point I want you to, and I can't tell no man how to move, but I would love to see you get to a space like that. And I brought that question up because it's like, them niggas was able to get past that, and certain shit happened. People died and all that, and they was able to get.
Pardon me. I done played the last part of that. Pardon me. I take that back. Let's go back to the beginning, y'all. That's my mistake.
So I'm asking you, and I asked you before, how do you feel about getting past differences with certain people?
I'm petty.
Right, hold on. Because I'm trying to, hold on. You've had past differences with people. Some people you was able to get past that, right? Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No. Now we get past now. We can get past that now. You want to get past it, or you want to dive more into it, or you want me to tweak?
I want you to get past it at some point.
You want me to crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out, because I don't want to crash out. Now, what I want for myself, I want for my brother.
I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because there's too much money out here, there's too much life out here, and I like to do the things that I like to do. Ain't nothing right now.
You're right.
Being alive and getting money and fucking waking up.
No better feeling.
There's no better feeling. Let's continue. But you heard him. He said, I'm petty. Once he said, yo, Max B on his way home, you think about squashing that by any means necessary? Nope. Quick answer. No hesitation. They didn't pause. They didn't do nothing. They didn't have to think about it. They didn't do none of that. Quick answer. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. After 20 plus something years later, you just can't let that go. Now, we're not talking about a dude. We're going to continue. We're not talking about a dude that's non-talent. Like the dude, if you ever heard the way, if y'all ever heard the term wavy, if y'all very hip in hip hop and y'all heard y'all kids or y'all sons 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like in my era, whatever, 12 years ago, whatever, 15, 20 years ago, whatever. And y'all heard that term wavy or wave, that comes from Max B. Yeah, that comes from Wiz Khalifa. You know, he's very he loved Max B, and he tells that he reminds people every day that any type of lingo y'all speak on the wave, y'all say anything about wave, that's that lingo, that way that Max B actually created 20 years ago. Can't take that away from the dude. The dude is very talented. Dude can make music, and also for people that don't know about Max B, go look at the old music, go hear his old music. It might sound a little different from now, but we're talking about 20 years ago. But let's continue with Jim Jones because he absolutely not trying to squash this beef. And we got more clips of him disrespecting Max B. And Max B on his way home. Time is ticking. He'll be home about 3 weeks. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
No better feeling ever in the world.
Feeling in the world. So what I'm saying is that at some point I want you to, and I can't tell no man how to move, but I would love to see you get to a space like that. And I brought that question up because it's like them niggas was able to get past that and certain shit happened. People died and all that. And they was able to get past that. That's why I asked you that. How you feel about that, Spizzo?
About what?
About getting past, because Wife and Lucci and Thug got past they shit. You think you could have an issue with a nigga and get past it?
Yeah, I think you can get past old thing. I don't really know all of their situations, so I'm not really speaking on it.
Not on them. Not on them. You.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just
You could get past it. It just depends how the situation is. Like I said, if people's life got attempted and all this, your loved ones, that's a different type of story. Best friends got unalive, but see now when you talk about streets, y'all know what comes with that. The crew know what comes with that. So you're not really too heartbroken as far as like a family member or something like getting unalive. You're gonna be like, damn, you know what I mean? But when a friend get unalive also in the beef, it's very hard to squash beef when two crews got members that been unalive because of the situation that been going on for decades. Very hard to squash a beef like that. It takes strong men, strong personalities, and say like, yo, let's drop all this and think about the next generation or so. This is only when crews get unalive from among each other. But that ain't ever happened between these two. That's what I don't understand, Jim. I don't understand if he's trolling. I don't understand if this a little trolls from Max B. I don't know if they got a plan going on with fake beef. I don't know, because we know how that hip hop could be. It makes us jump on the music to hear the next person what he got to say about Jim. Meaning Max B, if he drops some music. You want to hear what Max got to say? Because Jim on the interviews talking crazy recently. Now, let's hear about Max. Now, let's hear Max B before this. And people asked him, like, when you come home, are you going to squash the beef between you and Jim? Or do y'all got any type of little situation still going on among each other as far as the beef? Max B response was totally different. It sounded like he want to get home, squash the beef, get to the money, get to his family, and live life. Those are the 5 things. Peep what Max B was saying on the last couple of clips that a couple of interviews that he did before he came home. Peep this out.
2 egos was just coming together, 2 big personalities. You know, I wasn't there for that. I was just happy to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Just in the game. I'm never trying to come take nobody's shit. I'm in my own world, B. I'm existentialist, man. I like to do my own shit. You know, I come from a whole nother spot. So, you know, it was just egos clashing, a lack of respect, you know what I'm saying? And shit is lack of everything. That shit don't mix well, and next thing you know what I'm saying, we beefing. So as far as the content or whatever, it should have went a different way. You know what I'm saying? I think today we would have handled the situation different. But you know, I mean, we was young. Right. We was all crazy. And now we here, we older, we got kids, and people looking at us, we gotta set the right example. We can't be looking crazy out here. So it is what it is. It's all love. I'm trying to get back on that plate.
He's trying to get back on that plate. Now, there's more with Max B. Now, he was on the Daza report. Shout out to them over there if I'm actually pronouncing it right. We're going to get to this interview over here now, the next one. But there was a clip when Jim Jones like, nah, the only way we're going to squash it, we got to go close the room and shoot this fade and all this. And the guy actually asked Max B that question. Like, yo, I seen an interview. We're going to get to it right now. I seen an interview when Jim Jones was basically saying the only way this beef going to squash if y'all squabble in the room somewhere on the back. You know what I mean? Get the fade. And Max B kind of like paused a little bit, and he's like, But see, that's what I'm talking about. We got two people from Harlem. And two people that's old, that's old, I mean, up there in age. People ain't got time to be running around here like some young boy shit. But see, that shit can escalate to the young boys. Because Max B family is very heavy out there in Harlem. I'm pretty much sure he got cousins and nephews running around in Harlem. He's from the 40th. Anybody know what the 40th is? That's over there with Cameron. That's the danger zone. Well, do y'all research, man. So he got a lot of family. You hear Cam speak about Max B all the time. He's not no unknown god over there on their side of town. That could escalate to the young boys, and now all of a sudden you got the young niggas on Max B side, the young niggas on Jim Jones side, and next thing you know, you got Harlem all on fire. Now spinning around the block, shootouts, because we all know how the young boys play. This is what I'm trying to explain here. Jim need to cut this fake energy out. Because you wasn't doing this when Max B was chasing your ass around the city once upon a time. Him and his crew and French Montana and their crew. Not saying you wasn't putting in no work, champ, because you know I'm a fan of you, champ. But all this fake little tough guy shit at the age you at, you need to just cut it out, man. You need to cut it out. Ain't nobody get unaligned between both among each other. None of that, man. Y'all can squash that beef. I understand they disrespected your fiance, that Chrissy over there. But come on, this other dudes that way disrespect you way more. But let's hear what Max B had to say on one of his interviews that he did, actually. Because this is very interesting with Max B. Come on, man. Let's continue.
I heard Jim Jones mention how if y'all had a little squabble, we could move forward past it for good. I also heard on Drink Champs you said you're on a different path in life. Would that be something you would be open to, just like, you know, you and him linking up, locking in the room, getting your shit out the way, and moving past it?
What? Also, I mean, listen. Yeah, listen. Whatever it takes, man. I'm sure niggas done moved on, bro. Like, for some reason, it felt like I'm the last one on the planet nobody forgive or nobody want to get past nothing with. I'm not no violent nigga. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come after you. I ain't with none of that, bro. Like,
you have 1 minute remaining.
I ain't never have a fight in here with not one nigga in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thinker. I'm a man of my mind. So, whatever it takes. I'm on a level now. Listen, long as if we can keep everything calm, if we can keep these new young boys out here that's under bro, that don't really know what's going on, they just doing beef just to do it, just because it's traditional. They don't really know the facts. They don't even know how bro really feel. Bro might feel some type of way. He might feel the same way. He might just need a one-on-one or apology. You know what I'm saying? You never know. That shit go a long way. But it is what it is. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But you already know where I'm at with it, man. I run a non-violent movement, man. My was non-violent.
Yeah.
We surf.
Yeah.
We ride beach. We make bags.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We don't kill. We don't fuck with that shit. We don't fight. We love. We lovers.
Shout out to Max B, man. He said, man, I'm coming home. We surf. We ride them beats, nigga. We get into the bag. I know that's right, man. Free Max. He on his way in 3 weeks. But you see what I'm talking about? He's coming home with positive energy. You got to let things go. But Max B said, he said, for some reason, man, when it coming to me, man, I got to be the last one or none that all these other niggas will squash the beef with. But when it comes to me, they don't want to squash the beef with me. This is what Max B said just now. And my thing is, like, what's the big thing, Jim? He disrespected your fiance, Chrissy, nigga. I'm pretty much sure there were several more other fellas out there that disrespected her. And you disrespected other niggas also, fiance or girlfriends. Come on, man. You and Jay went back at it on records when Jay dissed you and you was happy and you was dissing Jay and Beyonce and all that. You forgot about that? You diss Beyonce, nigga, and you over there, son. Well, you over there riding with Rock Nation right now as we speak. You under the Jay-Z umbrella as we speak. I don't understand this dude. Is it because you scared this nigga might get that wave back popping in Harlem? He might be the next. He might be the new old young nigga that come home. Because we all know Max got that wave also. He's a Harlem nigga originally. Y'all see the way Jim dressed? Yeah, that's Max B also. It's going to be very interesting. But let's continue with the Jim Jones being very disrespectful.
Think about not only Dipset, Cameron, Jewel. I think about Max B. Nah. No Max B. What's up? say that. I love that type of response. You know what I'm saying? Say less. No, hell no.
I don't talk about dead people when I talk about people locked up.
Sure.
You heard?
Yeah. For sure.
I say some shit, I want to be able to say it to your face if I have to.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
So that was one thing I always made it a point to do. So just keep that in mind for next time you speak to a real nigga.
No doubt.
Talk about dead people or somebody's locked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you pointed that out. Us. Like I said, we from Iraq, and you know we do a lot of the interviews, and in our market, a lot of the fans they want to know about the people that's either dead or locked up. You know what I'm saying? And so we do interview a lot of guys that speak on them in the fans.
I know how I go in Chicago. I know how they speak on the ops. I know the whole thing and shit like that. But where I'm from, I come from a different time. I come from real hustlers and shit like that. Niggas that really got money and really was in the street. There's certain code and certain things that I'm just not accustomed to doing.
Mm-hmm.
And me talking about a dead person holds no merit to me. You heard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I look at...
And these are recent interviews. These ain't interviews from 6, 7, 8 years ago. No, that interview from shout out to DJ U. Like I said, every interview the OYN Jim Jones did. And they asked him that Max B question. You can't erase history, bro. Just like you can't, pardon me, just like you can't erase you being with Cameron and how much credit you won, how much credit you want, pardon me, for being a part of that. Cameron history, the Dipset, the Diplomats, and all that, and we give you your credit. But see, you want the credit from Cam, and Cam don't show you that credit. Cam ignore you, and that shit bothers you a lot, Jim, when it comes to Cam. So now you're doing the same thing with Max. See, I'm painting a picture here for the people that actually know this history and they know the story. Because what you doing in Cam, you want credit. Yo, man, I was there with Dipset. I was there in the beginning, all this. We know, we understand. We seen you Crown Hot 97 Funk Flex talking about the history and how much credit you won, how much credit you want from Cam. Because the fan base know. Everybody know, man. We like, man, we know you did your thing. Jim, leave it alone. But see, you want that love and that credit from Cam. Your big homie. And Cam been ducking you, giving you the hand, shoving you, dusting the shoulders off for the last 10, 15 years on you? 10, 12 years? You doing the same thing to Max B. You can't erase history here. Once upon a time, your best albums, bro. Max B is all on them shits. The MOB album, all that, your solo album, Max B's on there singing, doing hooks, doing everything. He's part of your solo history, nigga. That's what I'm gonna say. You can't erase that, Jim. I love that music y'all made back then, but that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to uncredit him for the work he helped you with on your solo career when you took off at Once Upon a Time with the balling and all this, and all. Max B played a big part of that, and Stack Bundles made his soul rest in peace. You be trying to skippity doop erase them niggas and make it seem like you was just you did everything. Nah, champ, them niggas helped you. Max helped you a lot in that studio, man. And that's exactly what you're doing. What Cam doing to you, you doing to Max, champ. Let's continue though, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna continue with this Jim Jones being disrespectful.
Back to French and Max. Will you work with Max B when he gets out of jail?
Fuck Max B.
Okay.
Max suck dick. Fuck out of here.
All right. Okay. Has that conversation even come up though?
No, people don't play with me with that conversation. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing about that. That's the first thing I say. You heard?
Okay.
That's how you feel. That end the deal for anybody. There ain't no Max talking about conversation. Period.
Okay.
He said there's no Max in his conversations. Now remind y'all, nobody got unalive, none of that. Let's continue.
Any artist that I ever had, I always put them in the best position they could be. Even with the dude that was locked up and shit like that, yeah, in the beginning, I took advantage of only thing I knew because that's what I learned from the leader that I had.
Who was locked up?
I don't say, you know who's locked up, but we ain't gonna say that. He did one of the artists I had and shit like that.
I'm gonna stop that part right there because y'all don't get what he just said. I took advantage of the contract situation. If anybody know the situation in history, that's the reason why Max left. Because Jim had him in an effed up contract. And Max B found out. And that's the part he speaks on right here. He said, I only did that what I learned. Because he learned that from, I guess, other people. That's all part of that industry game. They say that your first contract's going to be your messed up contract if you're not smart enough. And then your second and your third, that's where you learn from. You learn from your first mistake. So he's basically saying that's what he did with Max B. And we all know that's true because he had Max B on the almost craziest contract you could think of. I think 10 years, something crazy. And Max B caught on to that, and that's how that beef started from there also. But let's go back with Jim talking about that.
Any artist that I ever had, I always put them in the best position they could be. Even with the dude that was locked up and shit like that, yeah, in the beginning, I took advantage of only thing I knew because that's what I learned from the leader that I had.
Who was locked up?
I don't say, you know who's locked up, but we ain't gonna say that. He did one of the artists I had and shit like that. In the beginning, it was like that because I was taught from, you only know what you taught, you dig? So naturally moving forward in this game is to be sold, not told. I was blinding people with the money, but I paid people more than they was worth and shit like that, you dig? But on the flip side, I took advantage of the business. That was in the very beginning. And after that experience, I never ever took advantage of nobody else in my life when it came to doing business with music. Even with that, I relinquished the ownership of his publishing. You heard? Wow. Because I could have still owned his publishing right now if I wanted to and shit like that. But I said big bang take.
And that's true. I think he gave his publishing up, and he could have still owned it. But he did that at the end. I think he did that when Max B went in jail, and he just did that shit recently. Y'all remember him and French Montana? They squashed their beef. Jim Jones and French. That's around the time, I think right before that, that's when he gave the publish up, or right after that. He could have kept it. But y'all heard you heard the snake shit he did in the beginning though. So if you could admit what you did and you know that shit caused the beef, why you can't squash this beef? That's what I would understand. You admit you're wrong. You know what you did. You said some harsh shit on the records also. Max B said some very disrespectful shit on the records. But at the end of the day, he didn't never, I remember that beef clearly. He never disrespect your moms, none of that. The only one he should very disrespect, he should disrespect all the time. And if anybody a Max B fan and they go back into that era, it was Chrissy. He never disrespected Mama Jones. I sit back, I'll wait. We all know how we feel about our mamas, right? He never disrespected Mama Jones. He always disrespected Chrissy and him. That's it. Meaning Max B when he was doing the diss records towards Jim Jones. Never Mama Jones. Never his kids. Always him and Chrissy. And you telling me you can't squash this beef for what reason? Let's continue.
But people have ulterior motives a lot of the time. So when shit do go bad, they feel entitled to a person who has a person's success that you may have helped a little bit with. You didn't make them all. You didn't do everything for them. You didn't put them where they at right now. Yeah, you may help them in they but niggas had to work. A spark could go out. That won't start a fire. Am I lying? To make that fire go to a big roof, what you gotta do, you gotta work that bitch. Them leaves that go out when you starting that little ass fire off the spark. When you trying to So who worked that bitch? You gave me a little but you ain't make the fire go woof. I had to move this shit around, blow on it, all hey yo, all type of stuff. You heard? Like, so you feel that I got this hot ass fire and you and Chubb, I'm supposed to come help you, give you some of my fire? Don't really work like that. I mean, for me, I don't do favors or do things for people like that unless I already let you know ahead of time. This is what I'm expecting. But as a man, I'm not expecting nobody to come and help me. I'm expecting me to figure this shit out. That's the problem, bro. I gave so many people a look in life, but I did it from the kindness of my heart. I'm selfless, you heard? So if I get into a bind, I don't expect them same people that I helped out or did anything for to come and save me. Because that's not what I did it for. Else I would have made that clear when I did it. Like, yo, I'm about to do you this solid. You owe me one. You heard? But people.
Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Share this video also. That sound, yo, if you hear Jim talk, right? What Cam doing to him, I'm gonna repeat myself again on that note. What Cam doing to him as we speak for the last couple of years, and now that it is hurting him even more because Cam and Mace they blowing up. Listen, all my New York, all my East Coast, everybody that been following this history. Y'all know Cam and Mace was not in the great terms, I mean, in 20 plus something years. When they did a show together, it is what it is. That's the show with Cam and Mace. Shout out to them. It's one of the best sports podcasts on YouTube and all that. They funny, they do what they do. But nobody would have never suspected them two to do a goddamn show together, sit down and make millions again. And you know who they big up for that? They big up Gilly and Wallow. You know how much that shit hurt Jim, because Jim been there from the time Mace left Cam all the way to the time there was no more Jim and Cam. Several years. A decade and some change. 2 decades down there. You know how much that hurts him? He done went to war, battles, ran into beef because with Cam being Cam, hype man being Cam taking Cam beefs in the streets when niggas don't see Cam, they see Jim and his niggas. I gotta give Jim credit. Jim been through all that, but he did it for his man, and that's how he take his anger out on everybody else. It sound like a bitter it sound like a bitter ex-girlfriend. Because you taking your anger out on Max B also, which you doing the same thing to Max B, what Cam doing to you. What? It's because Max B is from the same block of Cam, and the Cam know him. Because I really think that's what it is. I think it's Chrissy, and I think it's a simple fact that Max B is from the same block as on Cam, 140th, same building. They know each other, family, everything. I think that's the main reason also, because you can't get over the Cam, you and your big homie situation. That shit killing your heart, allegedly. Because every interview you do, it sounds like that. It sounds like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a bitter ex-girlfriend. Pause. You got to go sit down with Cam, man. Just like you said, yeah, I got to sit down with Max. That's the only way we're going to talk. I don't like to talk with niggas in jail. This is you talking. So why don't you go sit down with Cam? Or try to force yourself to go sit down with Cam. That part. Pull up to this business. Do something. By yourself, though. Because what you doing to others, it's because what Cam doing to you, champ. And we all could see that. We can hear it in your voice, and we could see it. Nasty work, man. Let's continue. Now, y'all remember when Fresh Montana said him and Jim Jones squashed the beef, and the next day he went and dissed Max B on the interview? This the clip right here. He can't get over Max, man.
Be aware of y'all squashing it prior?
Yeah, I would have never did nothing unless I spoke to Max first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I spoke to Max, and Max was like, yo, I'm in here fighting for my life. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm fighting for my life. I ain't got no beef with Jim. And I remember when I did it, Jim did an interview after, and he was like, fuck Max. And I called Jim. I was like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep that.
Wait, so you're saying after you and Jim
Yeah.
squashed? Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
So-
Jim crazy.
So right after this very next interview, after y'all squashed, after the video too as well.
Yeah.
After the video as well, someone asked Jim. Jim does.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, bro, until y'all figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep the media off of that, you know what I mean? All that. Because,
That's
you know,
all.
we just went through like 10, 15 years of beef, man. Shout out to Jim, man, you know? You know, it was, you know, that was a real solid move from his side and my side. You know what I mean? But I just feel like he's fighting for his life, and Jim out here, and also it doesn't make no sense. The beef doesn't make sense.
And that's back then. A couple years ago when French Montana squashed the beef with Jim Jones. And I think they did a song together. Yeah, they did a song together. And he said it. He went to Max. He hit, I mean, Max said, yo, I'm going to do a song with Jim. You think, out of respect, because that's his man. And you know what Max said as a real nigga, man, I'm facing life, man. I gotta get up out of here. I ain't worried about that man right now. We'll do what you do. Get to the paper, man. And tell Jim I ain't got no problem with him either. That's some real nigga shit right there. You know why? Because nobody got unalive, nobody got harmed, no crazy shit, no disrespectful towards the moms and none of that. But you got this other dude out here that's in the streets, the old YN, Jim Jones, he can't get over it for some strange reason. I don't understand why. Let's get to this last clip with Max B, manager, actually speaking about this. This is manager right here. Shout out to him.
Relationship now between Max and Dipset.
Ain't no problem.
No problem.
Cam, shout out to Cam. Cam always call check on Max. So, you know what I mean? I don't know Santana like that, but I know when Max was locked up, I spoke to this kid named I think his name is Slowbucks. He put me on the phone with Santana and Max at the same time. So ain't about nothing. Jim is bitter.
When did that go left? When did that go left?
With Jim, I wasn't around at that, but basically I think what it was is that Max was in need when Max had that case for money. Only reason why I'm assuming, don't quote me on this, Max said that he needed money, so Jim made him sign over everything. I'll give you the money, nigga, but sign over everything.
Now, if y'all don't get that, Max caught the case that he went in for, the hotel situation, when they went to go rob the dude and all this, and somebody got unalive and all. Y'all remember that, it's old. He was still down with Jim in Bird Game. He caught the case. He told Jim, I need help. And I mean, Jim talking about, man, you got to sign over everything for me to help you. Publishing, masters, everything. Come on now. So who was wrong? That's how the beef started. That's when Max B turned his back, walked away, and went crazy on them until he went to jail. Then had French Montana to join them. That's when they started the beef. Max B started dropping mixtape at the mixtape at the mixtape at the mixtape, dissing them. It started because of that. Now, Max is his own man, but he's going to his boss, his CEO, like, yo, I just need some little help to get a lawyer. Do not help me out. According to Max B and according to his manager, and as Max B told him this, and Max B told the world this, Jim looked at him and was like, see, we didn't know the back end story about that. Jim asked them to sign everything over, and then I can help you out. Because Max B was making great music also. And he knew while Max B home on trial, he's going to continue making great music. So he wanted all that. Masters, published, and when he go in, all that, most of that money's going to go all to Jim. Which he kept the publish and all that. Eventually, he gave it up a couple of years later. But that's what I'm talking about. You did that man dirty from the beginning, and he had to do what he had to do to survive and continue eating and feed his kids. And you can't forgive him that? I just don't understand that. But if your big homie Cam, before I get out of here, turn around and, yo, Jim, come over here, man. Me and you and Mace gonna talk. Nigga, you would jump in your car and go fly down there, nigga. And go sit down at the table with your big homie Cam and Mace. And I'm lying, I sit back and wait on that. So I don't understand what's the problem here, to be honest. What's the issue? Got to do with something with Chrissy? What's the problem here? I'm up out there, man. We on to the next video, man. Max B on his way home 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Really didn't want to do a video about this, but I was like, man, we're just gonna drop one. But Max be on his way home. We're gonna see how Max's career gonna be. We're gonna see how this beef gonna be. That's the most interesting and most important part of Max coming home. How Jim gonna take this, and I'm gonna let y'all be the judge. What y'all think? Y'all think Jim gonna squash the beef, or y'all think Jim gonna carry on with this beef when Max B come home? He petty as hell. That's all I gotta say. But till then, we on to the next video, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Y'all already know the vibes, man. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. Salute, gang. I'm out of here.